Right guys, we are on page 141 of the notes. We've actually already done this about a month ago, but I just want to remind you of your trig identities. You've got tan theta is sine over cos. You've got sine squared plus cos squared equals 1. And if you remember, we rewrote these. So you've got cos squared is 1 minus sine squared. And you've also got sine squared is 1 minus cos squared. And these three identities are the ones that we're going to be using. And you do need to memorize these. Now, I'm pretty sure we did these two examples, that one, and we did that one there as well. If I haven't, can somebody message me and I'll do this one as well. Okay, so these ones, these are proof questions. And students always find these tricky. And it really is all about practice. Now, I do think you need to do about 50 to 100 of these before you get half as good as me. And I've done hundreds and hundreds of these. So you've got to really practice these. When you do the first 10, you will really struggle. But the more you practice, the better you will get. So let's have a look at the first one. So here, it says, show that 1 minus sine x over cos x is the same as 1 over cos x minus tan x. So we start with one of the sides. You start with either the left side or the right side, and you've got to try and make it look like the other side. You can't cross multiply or anything like that because you can't assume that they're equal to each other. So I'm going to start on the left-hand side, and I will tell the examiner that's what I'm doing, left-hand side. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. So I'm just going to write it out again. And this is quite a simple example, and I can see I can split my numerator. So I've got 1 over cos x minus sine x over cos x. Now this bit, I recognise that, that's tan x. So I'm going to rewrite that as 1 over cos x minus tan x. And that's equal to the right-hand side. So here I would say that's equal to the right-hand side. And then I would say shown, or I'd write QED. QED is Latin, quad ed, I think it's demonstrandum, to say I've shown it, I've done it. So you just write QED and the examiner knows that you've finished. Okay, so that's the first example. Let's do the next one. So this one, again, I've got to pick a side, left-hand side or the right-hand side. The left-hand side looks more, has more for me to work with, so I'd start with that. So here, I'm going to write left-hand side, and I'm just going to copy it out again. And I'm thinking, well, I need to make it look like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get sine squared on the top as well. So I'm going to rewrite that like that, keep everything the same, and that cos squared I'm going to replace. I'm going to replace it by this identity here, 1 minus sine squared. So here I'm going to put it in 1 minus sine squared theta. I'm just going to tidy up that top line. So I've got 2 take off 1, which is 1. Minus and a minus makes a plus sine squared on the top line. I'm just going to change that to an x because we are working with x's here. So that's my top line now, and my bottom line is 1 plus sine squared as well. And I'm dividing them, and because I've got two things, they're exactly the same, I'm dividing them by each other. That would equal 1. That equals the right hand side, QED. Okay.